Brady Manek, forward center out of North Carolina. I really love this dude when I was watching the Tar Heels. He has a bunch of underrated moves in the post himself. He has a bunch of hooks. He could turn and he could face up. His game reminds me a lot of. There are a couple of big men that I'm going to compare his archetype to. If you think of Kelly Olynyk, it's an Olynyk-type thing of 6'10". But unlike Olynyk, Brady Manek actually presents some paint resistance in the paint. And he's a bit lateral defensively. Like, I'm not going to say he could completely cover guards and wings, but he'll hold his own enough there to where it's not a total switch liability. So, when I look at Brady Manek, I kind of look at him also. Here's another name for you guys, Lewis Scholar. You can see here he got nearly 6 rebounds a game in 30 minutes. That normally would be just an okay rebounding number, but what makes this rebounding number more impressive is that North Carolina plays a sophomore big man by the name of Armando Baca, who I think is going to be a lottery pick in next year's draft. And he's literally a beast on the boards. And because of that, actually, Brady Manek shows some interior passing potential. They would often hook up for these type of plays at times. And what makes this play so credible, obviously, as you can see right here, nearly 40% 3-point shooting from college free. And I believe he shot pretty solid from the three-point line. Not as good as I would have wanted. Hold on, let me check it out here. Yeah, he shot 69% from the line this year, which is his second worst at 60%. He's mostly been in the 70%, 77% type of thing, which for a big man, 76 and 77% is typically good. You would kind of like for it to be a little bit at 80%-ish or so. But he's a solid, if unspectacular, free throw shooter, so there's a pretty good chance that it will translate, into the NBA. The other thing that I think about Brady Manek is just, I think he played with a lot of effort, and I think he played with a lot of intensity, and those are the things about him. Like, he runs the floor, he's a great cutter off the ball. So when I see this interior passing potential and I see his ability to shoot from range, those are the kind of things that excite me. Pick and roll finisher, and that's another thing too. The pick and roll game can be very diverse from Manek because whether he rolls or whether he pops, you don't know what's going to happen at a given moment. In the secondary break, you could find him again for easy early post up and one opportunity right here. Like I said before, when it comes to scouting these players, and it's not going to be all, like, underheralded guys, although I want to give the unheralded guys, their praise, because see here, pick one, screen two, I need to pull up the shot, knock it down, and that's where the Kelly Olynyk kind of thing comes into play. But also, I saw a little bit of ball handling, like, not a lot, but enough to make me think, could it be a Hedo Turkoglu type of, forward, where I'm 6'9", 6'8", 6'10", you can see him running the break here, and the behind-the-back pass. There's something there for Brady Manek, where, again, with some of these older players, they are late bloomers, and because they're late bloomers, obviously there's a step up from college to the pros. But when you just look at their skill, like throwing an entry pass, a sixer bench, for example, Rom 2.0 talked about it. How many players on this team could actually throw in an entry pass? And then you see this upper body strength. So this Lewis Scholar, Hedo Turkoglu, Kelly Olynyk kind of thing, or maybe even an Antoine Walker a little bit in terms of just taking things off the dribble and scoring. So there's really a lot to like about the potential of Brady Manek, even though he's a senior through the transfer portal, also coincidentally through Oklahoma. The aforementioned Alondas Williams also came from the same program. They were once teammates. So, I actually think that the transfer portal is one of the reasons why Jay Wright and Roy Williams retired, but the freedom of movement for young players to be able to just go to a different school where they can get minutes, I feel like that's good. And as a matter of fact, maybe the NBA could take a page out of this and make its free agency more mobile, if you will. You look at NFL teams and NFL players able to just move, from player to player. I know that a lot of fans want the loyalty and all that, but from the standpoint of a team, as you saw the pick up up there, from the standpoint of a team that's either a losing team or a team that's over the hump or needs to get over the hump, but is at the cap. You see here, even though he's beat from behind, he hustles for the block. So that just shows you that hustle and energy. But my main point of free agency, to get back to this, as he cuts and dunks here, my main point is that if you are able to have some, I don't know, special exemption that allows, a team to shine a star over the hump, maybe it shouldn't be no Kevin Durant kind of thing, but just for a team like Philly or a team like Dallas, Luka Doncic getting help to be able to compete with the Warriors, I think that would be nice. So the transfer portal of the NCAA, as you can see him taking off the dribble here for the dunk, I think the NCAA transfer portal is a good rule that the NCAA made to make the NCAA competitive in the 21st century. Because you got to remember, now they have to compete with G League, Ignite, and others looking to poach young talent and say, play over here. So now you got these college players able to pick and choose even within the confines of college basketball. As again, he catches these lobs, and he's just so nimble for a big man. That's the thing that caught my eye, because normally when it comes to these catch and pop big men, they normally are not as athletic as Brady Manek is. And he's just so athletic, and that's why the Scala comparison comes to mind. He's athletic, he's strong, and there's so much I like about him as a player in general, but I think he'd be a great fit for the Sixers second unit too, because you gotta think, what is a guard's best friend? It's a pick and pop big man. Obviously we were hoping for that from George Niang, and Niang laid a flat egg in the playoffs. But one of the reasons Niang laid that egg is because Niang couldn't really do much else besides shooting. Here you see Brady Manek just having a real feel for interior post passing or passing out a high post. I think the next stage in his development is going to be to use that passing as a weapon like Jokic does it, and to be able to take uncontested mid-range shots and knock them down at an efficient rate to become a truly explosive scoring forward. There's just so much untapped here for Brady Manek that I think that if he goes to the right team, that's the kind of player that I could see the Spurs pick up or the Miami Heat pick up, and then he ends up becoming this great NBA player because no one's paying attention. That's why I'm bringing up all these undrafted guys, or guys that have to work hard in the combine to get themselves noticed, because it's ridiculous. You should notice them. There's no excuse for this. It's an ACC program in North Carolina. How do you not notice a big man who's able to shoot the free, throw the pass to the interior, take it off the dribble a little bit, and he can even defend in space a little? To me, the biggest thing that he would have to work on, like I said, is him getting a mid-range jumper so that he can utilize his skills more on the offensive end. And I think that defensively, he's strong, he's stout, 260 pounds. I think that he has to just be more aggressive on the defensive end and look to make plays on the defensive end of the ball. But when you see his offensive skill set like this guy, just like Stevens and Williams and just like Roddy, how are these players not, graded draftable is something that I don't understand. Like that fadeaway dunk type of shot there. And you can even get into where Baycock can get out of post, and Manek can get in position, and then he finds the cutter. There's so much versatility from that front court, and a lot of that versatility comes from Manek's skill game, that I just think he's a sleeper. This is just me picking out every sleeper, and is every sleeper going to translate to the next level? No, probably not. But dare I say that maybe 4 or 5 of them will, because shit, he flies here in the middle of the zone, he then comes outside and then he throws it back into Baycott. Just the experience and the knowledge. That's the other thing too. When you can play smart and you have the athletic tools to play at the next level, that's what will allow you to get your potential. See here, he's an active threat in the dunker spot, and he slams it home. Give me Brady Manek. He makes all the right veteran plays to have a long career in the NBA. The kind of big man that fits what we want to do. Screen roll, shoot, pop. I think that he, you know, we all know that Doc is notorious for not playing young players, but if Doc Rivers were to play a young player and have confidence in a young player, it'd be someone like Brady Manek who understands his role, understands how to play within his role, and just does it to an excellent degree. And this is not the last of underrated big men. There's actually two big men from Purdue that I'm going to highlight. Both big men I think have a future in the NBA. I'm just covering all the bases. You saw some wings, you saw some guards, and now we're going to look at some big men. And then I'll round it out by scouting the projected top picks. And we'll see which one of those top picks deserve to be rated at the top, and which ones I think are getting overhyped and won't have that production at the next level. Six of the Universe signing off. Peace.